So stop me if you heard this before, but the Kings have made yet another dumb decision in the slew of trades that have been happening over the last few days, and I will give my reaction to the CJ McCollum trade and the Caris LeVert trade soon. The Sacramento Kings found themselves in the headlines once again for the wrong reasons. The Kings are trading away second-year player and really just a damn good guard altogether that is going to improve every year in Tyrese Haliburton, along with Buddy Hield and Tristan Thompson. They were sent out to the Pacers for all-star big man Domantas Sabonis, Jeremy Lamb, and Justin Holiday, as well as a 2027 second-round draft pick. Now, on paper, the move looks all right. Yeah, the Kings traded for all-star big man Domantas Sabonis, even though one of those all-star selections was a injury replacement all-star. But in reality, I just think this is a terrible trade for the Kings. One, the Kings aren't going anywhere, and this goes back to Kings owner Vivek Ranadive just having unrealistic expectations for his franchise. Oh, you have to make the play-in, the playoffs, no matter what, instead of just building through the draft because the Kings are terrible and they keep straddling the line instead of committing to a rebuilding plan like building through the draft. And this is why the Kings continue to miss the playoffs. I don't understand how Sabonis moves the needle. I don't like the fit between him and franchise guard De'Aaron Fox. I would have rather seen the Kings just build around Tyrese Haliburton and De'Aaron Fox, because De'Aaron Fox really hasn't had a player like Haliburton next to him during his entire time in Sacramento. And now you're going to pair De'Aaron Fox with somebody who is a good offensive player. I'm not sliding Sabonis in any way. The guy's a bruiser on the low block. He's a damn good passer, and he gobbles up rebounds. But the guy can't rim protect. Yeah, he's smart, has basketball IQ, but the dude can't move his feet. If you put him in drop coverage, that's just asking for trouble. And the Kings' defense is already trash anyway, so why are you investing in a big man, the most important defensive position in basketball, in my opinion, who can't defend the rim? To me, offense wasn't the problem, it was defense. But even then, even if the Kings somehow rectified the issue this year, they're still a young/terrible team. So why not keep committing to building through the draft, or, and I'm not doing a one-on-one comparison here between Fox and Haliburton, but you trade Fox to match the contract of Sabonis, and you build around Haliburton, Davion Mitchell in the backcourt, and Domantas Sabonis, if you really wanted to get an all-star, quote-unquote, that badly. I just don't get this move. Haliburton took a huge leap this year, especially starting with when De'Aaron Fox went down with the coronavirus and was in health and safety protocol. That's when Haliburton really started blossoming and has continued to play well, even with De'Aaron Fox in the backcourt. I felt like they were figuring stuff out. I just feel bad for Kings fans, man. I live in Sacramento, work here in Sacramento, and I've had to console my coworkers basically during the last 2 hours of my shift, because that's when the news broke, and Kings fans and my coworkers who were Kings fans were distraught by this news, because Haliburton's a good player. Monte McNair, I think, has actually nailed his draft picks, and that's the other thing with this. There is no way somebody like Monte McNair, who has learned under Daryl Morey, learned how to do smart moves on the margins, and any type of organizational decisions you approach soundly with, there is no way McNair makes this decision if he doesn't have the pressure of ownership basically mandating that you make the playoffs. It doesn't make sense to me. Haliburton showed last year that he was a damn good player immediately. He's a good passer. He's a really smart off-ball defender. Yeah, he's 190 pounds soaking wet, but he's still a smart defender. He can add on muscle and become a stronger one-on-one defender eventually. And also, he started developing his offensive game even more. This year, he developed his sidestep three. He's taken a lot more sidestep threes this year. This year, he really made it a weapon. The guy has a nasty floater game, and that was immediately displayed in his rookie year. He had great pick and roll chemistry with Rashawn Holmes. Actually, even makes my case stronger that they should have traded Fox instead if you really wanted to get Sabonis, so that way you can have two high IQ basketball players working off of each other. Just a dumb move by the Kings, and I don't want to hear the positive spin that people in Sacramento will try to put on it. Sabonis is a good player. He doesn't move the needle for the Kings. Yeah, he's under contract for a bit longer until 2024, but the Kings aren't going to make the playoffs this year, and they're probably going to be in the same position next year because, again, defense will be the problem, and ownership just has this crazy mandate to make the playoffs. However, on the Pacers side of it, I love this deal for the Pacers. Obviously, they were the most boring and mundane team in the NBA this year. This is year 500 of them trying to figure out if Sabonis and Miles Turner can work in the front court together. The answer has been a long time, no. Good players, and they really tried to make it work, and there were some cases where they figured some stuff out, but that wasn't going to be a good fit long term. The Pacers can kind of do a soft reload or a soft rebuild, and they've been soft rebuilding for a long time, but Tyrese Haliburton and Malcolm Brogdon is a excellent backcourt to kind of build off of. And also, Miles Turner now has sole ownership of the center position. And that's a damn good fit next to somebody like Haliburton or somebody like Brogdon, two high IQ players who can find Miles Turner on the pick and pop. Miles Turner can also cover up the defensive deficiencies of that backcourt, even though I think that backcourt is really, I think is going to be underrated defensively, especially down the road. Oh, and also, sorry, I have to go back to the Kings for a second because I just remembered this, but Justin Holiday is unvaccinated and is going to remain unvaccinated by his choice, and he cannot play in California. So I don't understand. That's another reason why I don't understand this move. But anyway, back to the Pacers. I just love this move for the Pacers. They have kind of been selling off a lot of things. They traded for Caris LeVert, obviously got back Ricky Rubio and the first-round pick and a couple of second-round picks from the Cavaliers. So it looks like the Pacers are pivoting in a nice way that honestly doesn't make them as boring and honestly makes them a more interesting team. So I can't wait to watch how the Haliburton-Brogdon backcourt is going to work out. I know Brogdon is out right now with injury, but I'm just imagining how that backcourt is going to mesh together. It's a big backcourt. Haliburton 6'5", Malcolm Brogdon 6'4". That's just a nice backcourt to build your offense around and makes the Pacers infinitely less boring. Love this trade for the Pacers. The Kings were fucking stupid with this trade, and I don't care if Sabonis turns into a multi-time All-Star in Sacramento. This trade gets the Kings nowhere, in my opinion, and Kings fans are rightfully and should be frustrated. I mean, the top comment on the Reddit thread for that trade was a Kings fan simply saying, "Fuck you." And that's the most upvoted comment in that thread. So you can kind of understand where Kings fans are coming from. Anyway, dumb trade. Can't wait to react to a lot of the other trades that are going to happen leading up to the trade deadline. So stay tuned.